don't you sit down? I'll tell you a story. It's about a girl and the necklace. Now this girl, she was one of those pretty and charming girls who are sometimes, as a mistake, born into a family of clerks. She had no expectations, no means of being known, understood, or loved. She let herself be married to a little mechanic at Rod's service department. She dressed plainly because she could not afford to dress well. She was unhappy, as though she had really fallen from her proper station. Now this girl, she suffered endlessly, feeling deprived of those things that she has longed for. She suffered from the poverty of her dwelling, from the wretched look of the walls, from the torn-out chairs, from the ugliness on the curtains. She could only dream of those nice things that she would never be able to enjoy.
All right now. All right, don't get nothing on you. Okay. Oh, boy. Hey, Maddie, I gotta tell you, this joke got her to work today, girl. Woo, Lord, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Honey, dinner's ready.
What more could I ask for?
Mrs. Lewis dreamt about the shining silverware, tapestry which flowed like a bird in mid-flight. She thought of the delicate dishes served on marvelous plates. She had no dresses, no jewels, nothing. She would so love to be envied, to be charming, to be sought after. She had a friend, a former schoolmate, who was rich and whom she did not like to visit anymore because she would suffer afterwards. But one evening, her husband returned home with a triumphant air and holding a large envelope in his hand.
All right, I'll see you. All right, man. All right. There you go. That's okay. Go ahead and check that out right there.
What's this? The Director of Public Service and Rod Rogers request the honor of Mr. and Mrs. Lewis's company at the winter dance? What do you want me to do with this?
But baby, I thought you'd be happy. See, you never go out, and this is a heck of an opportunity. See, everybody wants to go to this, and you have no idea how hard it was to get this. You see, because they normally don't even offer invitations to mechanics. The whole official world is going to be there. You ungrateful. That's your problem right there, see.
And what do you want me to wear on my back?
You know you can wear that dress that you wear to church on Sundays, because it looks all right. Oh, Lord, what's wrong with you now?
Nothing. I just don't have a dress to wear to the dance. You might as well give this to one of your co-workers because at least their wives probably have a nice dress to wear to it.
All right. Look here, woman. How much do you think it's going to cost to get a suitable dress? Now, I mean one that you can wear to, the grocery store and the park and stuff. One that ain't going to break us down,
I'd say $60. $60?
He turned slightly pale. This was the money he had saved to purchase a gun.
All right, look. I'm going to give you the $60, but please try and get something nice with the money.
The day of the party drew near, and Mrs. Lewis seemed sad, uneasy, and anxious. The dress was ready.
What's the matter with you? You've been very odd these past 3 days.
I've been thinking. Kind of upset because I don't really have any jewels to wear for the ball tomorrow night. I don't even own one single stone. I'd like absolutely no one. I really don't want to go anymore.
Aren't you
just wear flowers. They're very smart this time of year. For $2.13, you can get 2 or 3 gorgeous roses.
Flowers? How poor would I look standing in the middle of rich women with all their diamonds all over? And oh, look at my little flower. How poor is that? Ghetto.
How stupid you are. Why don't you just go... Why don't you just go...
The next day, she went to Mrs. Forrester's house. Told her that she was in trouble.
Ding dong.
Hi, my name's Maddie. You remember me? Maddie, come on. Thanks.
She saw some bracelets, then a diamond necklace, then a Venetian cross in gold and gems of exquisite workmanship. She tried the effects of the jewels, and hesitantly, unable to make up her mind to leave them, to give them up, she kept on asking,
Do you have anything else?
Try this one. This is my favorite.
Suddenly, she discovered, in a black satin case, a superb pearl necklace. Her heart began to beat covetously. Her hands trembled as she lifted it. She held it to her neck, upon her high dress, and remained in ecstasy at the sight of herself.
Can I borrow this? Just this alone, of course. Thank you.
She flung herself on her friend and embraced her frenziedly,
I must be going.
and went away with her treasure. The day of the party arrived. Mrs. Lewis was a success. She was the prettiest woman present, elegant, graceful, smiling, and quite above herself with happiness. All the men stared at her, inquired her name, and asked to be introduced to her. All the undersecretaries of state were eager to waltz with her. Rod Rogers noticed her. She danced madly, ecstatically, drunk with pleasure, with no thought for anything. In the triumph of her beauty, in the pride of her success, in a cloud of happiness made up of this universal homage and admiration, of the desires she had aroused, of the completeness of a victory so dear to her feminine heart. She left at about 4 o'clock. Since midnight, her husband was in a deserted little room in company with 3 other men, whose wives were having a good time. He threw over her shoulders the garments he had bought for them to go home. Modest everyday clothes, whose poverty clashed with the beauty of the ball dress. She was conscious of this, and she was anxious to hurry away, so that she could not be noticed by the other women putting on their costly furs. The cab brought them to their door on Carter Street, and sadly they walked up to their own apartment. It was the end for her. As for him, he was thinking that he must be at the office at 10. She took off the garments in which she had wrapped her shoulders, so as to see herself in all of her glory before the mirror. But suddenly she uttered a cry.
Dun dun dun.
The necklace was no longer around her neck.
What's the matter with you?
I lost my necklace.
Say what?
They searched in the folds of her dress, in the folds of her coat, in the pockets, everywhere. They could not find it.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Are you sure you had it when we left the party?
Yes, I touched it before we left.
But if you had dropped it in the street, we wouldn't have heard it fall, right?
That's true. Did you get the number of the cab?
No, did you notice it?
No, I didn't.
I gotta find it.
Okay. Hurry back. Be safe.
Tell her that we broke the class and we're gonna have it fixed. And just have to figure it out.
By the end of the week, they had lost all hope.
Oh, God, I've gotta find a way to replace this.
Next day, they took the box which had held the necklace and went to the jeweler's whose name was inside.
Not I who sold the necklace. It was I who supplied the class.
Then they went from jeweler to jeweler, searching for another necklace just like the first, consulting their memories, both ill with remorse and anguish of mind. In a shop at Arizona Mills, they found a string of pearls which seemed to them exactly like the ones they were looking for it was worth $12,000. They were allowed to have it for $10,000, and they begged the jeweler not to sell it for 3 days. And they arranged matters on the understanding that it would be taken back for $9,000 if the first one were found before the end of February. Lewis possessed $5,000 left to him by his father. He intended to borrow the rest. He did borrow it, giving $1,000 from one man, $500 from another, $500 here, $300 there. He gave notes offhand, entered into strenuous agreements, did business with usurers and the whole tribe of moneylenders. He mortgaged the whole remaining years of his existence, risked his signature without even knowing he could honor it, and appalled at the agonizing face of the future, at the black misery about to fall upon him, at the prospect of every possible physical privation and moral torture, he went to get the new necklace and put down upon the jeweler's counter $10,000. Mrs. Lewis returned the necklace to her friend and came to know the ghastly life of abject poverty. From the very first she played her part heroically. She feared debt must be paid off. She would pay it. The servant was dismissed. They changed their flat. They took a garret under the roof. She came to know the heavy work of the house, the hateful duties of the kitchen. She washed the plates, wearing out her pink nails on the coarse pottery and the bottoms of pans. She washed the dirty linen, the shirts and dishcloths, and hung them out to dry on a string every morning. She took the dustbin down into the street and carried up the water, stopping on each landing to catch her breath. And clad like a poor woman, she went into the fruiterer, to the grocer, to the butcher, a basket in her arm, haggling, insulted, fighting for every wretched penny of her money. Every month notes had been paid off, others renewed, time gained. Her husband worked in the evenings at putting straight a merchant's account, and often at night he did a copying job at 3 cents a page. And this life lasted 10 years. At the end of 10 years, everything was paid off. Everything. The usurer's charges and the accumulation of superimposed interest. Mrs. Lewis looked old now. She had become like all the other strong, hard, coarse women of poor households. Her hair was badly done. Her skirts were wide. Her hands were red. She spoke in a shrill voice, and the water slopped all over the floor when she scrubbed it. But sometimes, when her husband was at the office, she sat down by the window and thought of the evening long ago, of the ball at which she had been so beautiful, so much admired. What would have happened if she had never lost those jewels? Who knows? Who knows? How strange life is, how fickle, how little is needed to ruin or to save. One Sunday, as she had gone for a walk on the park to freshen herself after the labors of the week, she caught sight suddenly of a woman who was talking of a child out for a walk. It was Mrs. Forrester, still young, still beautiful, still attractive. Mrs. Lewis was conscious of some emotion. Should she speak to her? Yes, certainly. And now that she had paid off, she would tell her all. Why not?
Young.
Oh my gosh, hi Jeannie.
Hey, can I play with your dog?
Sure. Her name's Zena. I'm sorry, what was your name? I'm Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie Lewis. that's it. Well, I didn't really just break the clasp.
But you gave it back.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't the exact necklace. I lost the one you let me borrow. So, we've had this necklace that we bought for you, and we've been trying to pay it off for 10 years. It cost us $2,000. And we're so poor, anyway, that my husband's been working 3 jobs. I've been working in one of those weird kitchens, and it's just been really horrible. And I'm really sorry.
Now, the necklace that you borrowed from me,